Hey, what's going on, friends? My name is John Waldman. I'm a filmmaker based in New York, and today we're going to talk about transforming any vintage lens with CineHousing. Alright, so this is a very exciting day for the channel. For the first time, someone has sent me something to review. CineHousing saw my Carl Zeiss Jena 35mm Flecticon review. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. I'll leave a link over here. So yeah, they saw that, and they hadn't done any CineHousing yet for Carl Zeiss Jena lenses. They liked my video, so they reached out. So CineHousing is not paying me to make this video. They did, however, send me a lens to review on the channel, and it is mine to keep. This is the first time someone has reached out to me to review something, but honestly, I would not review something if I didn't think it would provide some value to me or provide value to you, something that I actually might use or buy, whether it's a service or a product. So let's just get that disclaimer out of the way. And I am gonna give you an honest, no BS review. I am gonna tell you my thoughts about this, things I like, some things I don't like. Please note, so any of the B-roll today, I had no test subjects, which I usually like to have, and there's nothing more I hate than when I see any sort of lens or camera review and it's just people shooting trees and random but you know what? Today I had to be that. It was more so I wanted to show you the functionality of this lens. It wasn't about the images, the review, so keep that in mind when you see my test footage. The lens that's in here, it's the Carl Zeiss Jena Tessar 50mm f2.8. I have Carl Zeiss Jena MCs, and in my brief testing, I actually do feel like this could match well within that set. I think the MCs have a little bit more character, and also they're faster. So the first absolute thing you need to note, this is not rehousing, it's CineHousing. It is plastic and it's fully customizable. It's not permanent. I think some customers have gotten confused and think this is rehousing. That is not it. And what do I mean by that? So this is a 3D printed lens housing that you could put over any of your manual focus lenses. Unlike rehousing, where they take apart the optics and they do modifications to it, the actual lens lives inside of here. Hang on. And there's a 3D printed CineHousing that goes over it. Basically, so right here, this is another 50mm Zeiss lens I have. This is CineModded. You could get a rehousing where you would, send your optics in and a manufacturer would completely make a new lens, where this is not a true rehousing, but it's CineHousing. So the way I see it, it sits between CineModding your lenses yourself and all the way to the other side with a full rehousing. So this is kind of like that nice middle ground. All right, so let's just talk about things that I like. And honestly, I haven't put it through thorough testing. I did use it briefly on a shoot. I also did some test footage. And again, I'm not really making this about the actual optics of the lens. This is more of a use case, what I think about the lens, and I'd like to answer the question, would I become a customer? Or would you become a customer? Let's find out. I particularly wanted the 82mm filter thread since I have 82mm filters and the ability to add that step-up ring for my matte box. I rocked with the EF mount. I just like the versatility of EF. While I do shoot with E-mount cameras, just thinking about longevity, EF gives me a little more flexibility to put it on different bodies. Now, although the lens is plastic, I find it's built really nicely. I think the build quality is excellent for plastic. The focus ring feels really smooth. It's just a long, beautiful focus throw. Like the aperture ring is nice. It's not declicked, we didn't do any declicking, but the teeth feel nice, the caps, everything feels very well built, even though it's plastic. Also, I really appreciate all of the designs and details, from the focus markings, the aperture, the logos on the caps, the sides, the back caps, the front caps, all the different details and stuff that went into it, I really do appreciate. And I don't know, it looks pretty cool too. Another thing that is nice is this is not permanent. You're not married to this. You could take this apart. I don't think it's too difficult. These are different lenses. It doesn't feel a whole lot heavier than my CineModded version. So CineHousing is based in the UK. Right now, you could reach out to them on their Instagram or on their eBay page. I will leave a link down below so you could get in touch with them. If you do want to become a customer, easiest way for them to do your CineHousing, similar to a rehousing, is you got to send your optics in. So you send your optics in, and once they receive it, It takes about 1 to 2 weeks to make the housing, and then it gets shipped back out. Please note that they are in the UK, so depending on where you live, that could become expensive or take a while, but just keep note of that. And what I do also like about the company in general, you can do this to any lens and it's completely customizable. This Zeiss Jena lens is an M42 mount, so this has EF mount on here. And what's nice about this one, because sometimes with these M42 mounts, depending on the lens, it might come out misaligned, but the mount that they provided, there's little points in here, so you can kind of like twist it around if it was a little bit uneven. I had a slight issue with mine when I got it. It was a hair off of the EF mount, so I just went in there, rotated a little bit, clicked it, and bam, it was perfect. So kind of my main takeaway here is, I think it's a step up from CineModding. If gun to my head, which do I think is better? Yeah, I do like this better. That's not to say I don't love this. And you know, depending, I guess, on what you're doing, it might be easier to use smaller form factor lenses. Let's say you're running a smaller camera system, you want to throw it on a gimbal. Maybe this is easier, CineModded. Or, you know, you have a bigger setup, you have a bigger team, maybe this would be a tool of the choice. So again, these are both just different tools housed in different ways. It really, I guess, totally depends on your needs, but I think it's that perfect middle ground between CineModding and rehousing. And keep in mind, rehousing a lens can cost thousands of dollars, and I'm not really at a point in my career where that makes sense for me. This is, like I've mentioned before, this is plastic. Now, I think this is very well built. I have no, so far, in, again, limited use, how is this gonna hold up over time? I'll have to let you know, I don't know that answer. It is made of plastic. I do like to think I take good care of my stuff. I don't plan on dropping this lens or doing anything crazy with it. So I'd like to think that if you take good care of this, like, you know, any other expensive, nice lens or piece of gear that you have, it will, you know, stand the test of time. But yeah, one of my concerns is I'm not sure how long these will last, being that it's a plastic build. If your vintage lens protrudes, this protrudes. If that bothers you, maybe this product's not for you and you want to go with a rehousing, but that could cost a ton more money. So whatever happens with the lens naturally, if it protrudes, that will happen with this. Another thing that's a con for me is that they're based in the UK. I live in the United States. That costs more when you're talking about converting euros, shipping, time to get the product. I don't know where most of y'all are based. I'm assuming a decent amount in the United States, but hey, I know we got some people all over, so that may be a con for you. It's just something to take note of. Also, another thing, albeit I think overall the time in which they're cranking these out is pretty good. And this just comes with rehousing at all, is just you're gonna be without your glass when you send it in. I think this might have to be just kind of the nature of EF mount or this Metabones in particular, but there's like, check this out. There's always a little bit of play, and I think it's because of my Metabones. I would like to get a locking EF mount. I always felt like, and again, I had this issue when I had my old Canon zoom lenses. I always felt like it wasn't quite fully in there. So there is a little bit of play. You'll notice that, you know, maybe when you're, yeah, I don't know, I'm not crazy about that. All right, so as of June 2023, it's 350 euros just for the CineHousing. You have to send in your optics. That's not including any, you know, euro to USD conversion. That's not including shipping. Call it 450 with shipping. Just for this, let's say, all right, you know, step up ring, cap, focus rings from CineModding adapter. Let's say, average, let's say you're spending about $100 a lens to CineMod. And now let's say like $400 for CineHousing, 4 times as much. Would I want to spend that? I'm honestly not sure. And I'm not to say that I don't think it's worth it, because when you compare this to a full rehousing, I think it's a hell of a value. To the flip side, part of me is thinking after I finish this documentary of possibly getting all my Zeiss Jena lenses, the CineHousing. So yeah, I could see myself as a customer. So that's about it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is a really cool product. I think it is a step up from CineModding. It is a much more affordable option as opposed to rehousing. Would you be a customer? Are you interested in this? Let me know down in the comments what you think. I'm super appreciative that they sent this for me to check out. Let me know what you think about this, and if anyone wants to try this out, hit me up. So yeah, guys, that's about it. As always, Cheers. Boom. Bye.